Time's up, Admiral.
Here it comes.
I think I made it a little bit too low there when I redid it because we added Jeremy to the thumbnail. Welcome, everybody, to another day of Where No Man Wants to Go reviews. And we thought it couldn't get any worse. I don't think we thought it could get worse. It got worse.
It's
Starfleet
impressive.
We thought, how can you get worse after insulting
Mhm.
Klingons the way they did? Well, today's episode said hold my beer to last week's episode, because this episode, I mean, Brad, I told you I was going to get angry at this one, and I did. But how you doing,
I
Brad?
was perfectly calm. I was
No, yeah,
perfectly calm.
yeah,
I
you-
did
you-
not have any freakouts at all. I was
no,
nice and
no.
steady, and I was not drinking at all. And I should have been drinking during that show.
You did at the end,
But
though.
I-
You started drinking at the end.
I popped open Lafrague right at the end. It was like, screw it, I need help.
At the end there, I just the exact moment at the Dax moment, I literally just went go, which is why when I got to the review, I was calm because I processed it by then. But if I'd been recording, it would have been the meltdown of meltdowns because it was insulting. But how you doing, Brad?
Well, we're going to talk about this. I'm just trying to figure out how we're going to get through this.
One step at a time.
I will have one thing to say that's positive. I will say one thing that's positive.
It's the
overall.
same thing we're all going to probably say that's positive.
I think we're going to say one thing is positive.
And then
Maybe
they still
one and a half.
and they still
one
found
and
a way to
half.
screw it up, though. They still found a way to screw it up.
Yes, I have that down.
Yeah. Anyway, and of course, the man who's just about here all the time. Anyway, hi, Jed.
Hi.
I got nothing else. Nothing else.
You've just given up on transitions for me. They just get worse and worse. But yes, I'm here. I'm not happy to be here. That same moment you were talking about, I literally screamed the word no, and my wife had to come check up on me to make sure I was okay.
Thank God I was alone. Thank God my missus was not home, because she would have freaked out twice.
Yeah, my dog was having a panic attack thinking that something was invading the house or something. It got quite heated during that same moment. I think we all freaked out a little bit at. But I do have some good news for you, gentlemen.
Oh, yeah?
You guys excited for some good news?
Sure.
We're officially halfway
Oh.
through.
Yay.
Well,
5 more
of
weeks.
season 1.
Yeah, because there is going to be a season 2. They ordered
Already
20
filmed.
episodes.
They're done.
Yeah.
They're done.
That's a good one. If it was in the mirror universe. Oh, the mirror universe, maybe they'd all actually be sexy and not gay.
No, we saw what Kurtzman did with the Mirror Universe.
Oh, you're right. I always forget that the
didn't know
whole
that.
goddamn
They
thing
messed with the
starts with
mirror?
mirror universe. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was Discovery. Captain Lorca was from the Mirror Universe. So
Yeah,
is
I did not
I
touch
forget that.
Discovery.
so was Emperor Giorgio.
Yeah. I mean, GB, man, they got season 2. They ordered 20 episodes and just cut it in half.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's happening. It's happening. So we get to do this all over again probably next year. We do. Anyway, well, we do have a new ensign on board, Boy Genius Dermy, but he ain't here right now. I'm going to check
He's
again.
responded to my DM since we've been live, but he's not here. So
He
where?
hasn't even looked at the link that I sent him.
I sent him the image that I made of him. That I sent.
We
to
need
you, Adam.
representation, especially for this episode.
Yeah. So we'll yell at him when he gets here, but that's par for the course. Anyway, howdy to the chat. We're glad to have you guys here with us as we embark, maybe you should say engage, in dealing. I'm sorry.
Don't use that word for the show.
Well, we're engaging.
Yes.
It's us. We're engaging
We're
in
engaged.
dealing with this episode 5. I call it the disgrace, disrespect to DS9 because that's what it is. And what I found interesting is that all three of us took different things jumped out to all of us in our reviews. I mean, I was very heavy on certain lore points and the writing, and Tawny Newsome, I was zeroed in on her self-insertion fanfic that this was. Brad, you were locked on to the other lore points that I missed in this stuff, and
I didn't realize that was Tawny Newsome,
yeah,
the actress.
I didn't realize that either.
The credits in the opening roll, and I saw Tom.
Mhm.
I realized, oh, that's her. That's her. And then
I saw the writing credit. I saw the writing
and a
credit.
producer. She also is a producer on the episode too.
Among the 20 producers, yes.
Yeah. And Jed, you were really locked in on the bad comedy of the episode.
Oh yeah, the comedy just bothered me so much. All the different jokes. It doesn't feel like Star Trek. It's all modern day humor. Fart jokes. There were 3 different fart jokes.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel sophisticated.
You know what's really good though, since it's Gary who's leading the charge against Starfleet Academy, it's great that we all picked out different parts from the weekly newsletter that he sends out to tell us all how to review the show, because we can't have independent thought.
I didn't get a newsletter.
Oh,
yeah, me neither.
Oh God, I guess I'm the only one. He jokes that he's sending out the newsletter to everybody.
There is one thing everybody did do. Once again, everybody zeroed in on essentially the same type of thumbnail. Yes. And now listen, I actually ran the A/B test. I've got 3 different thumbnails of Sam. I'm running 3, and we'll find out which one rates the best, because they're all different variations of her in states of.
Yeah. Everyone went for those close-ups of her, but the vomiting glitter and the eating of the giant pepper just stuck out way more to me.
Well, actually, that was a jump stick, right?
That was a jump stick. I think it was a jump stick.
Yeah, it was a jump stick. Yeah.
Although it looked way too phallic.
Jed, adjust your volume a bit. You're a little low. Just your volume a little bit.
Little low. StreamYard's fucking with me.
Yeah. And hey, listen, Celtic Tiger, man, that's what you do. Make your own stuff, dude. Oh,
absolutely.
Make your own stuff. Hang on a second. Let me finish talking to the chat for 1 second before we do with this in a second here. But yeah, make your own stuff, dude. That's what we're all doing. We're all making our own stuff. Not to replace, but to just add. And now, of course, Ensign Boy Genius Dermy. Hey,
I knew the show started at 6, but I thought it was 6 my time. So
none of us are in Peasant Central. You
we exist in the present. We're all in the present.
I was watching Stargate. I was getting good.
You're trying to butter us up now.
Listen, I got caught. I watching this shit and wondering what the fuck's on Holly Hunter's feet. Got me thinking. I want to watch good. I want to watch good content.
Yeah, I wake up this morning to DM. What's this bitch got on her feet? That's what I wake up to this morning.
I think it's just jewelry.
It's some sort of she's been wearing different outfits in her cities, and she keeps having those things on her feet. Yeah, it's not the first time.
All of a sudden, I see something on her feet because it's the first time I saw her feet, and I'm.
Oh yeah!
That's the first time.
Yeah, because he didn't watch the first 2 episodes. He came in the first 3 episodes.
Oh yeah, she's barefoot in every other.
Yeah, somebody has a foot fetish with her.
Someone on the crew has a foot fetish. We think this is Tarantino's influence. Remember, he wanted to do Star Trek.
He would do better Star Trek.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be Star Trek, but it would be better.
Yeah, it'd be better content.
Anyway, so hi, Dermy.
Hi. Yeah, I'm late. I'm an idiot. It didn't dawn on me that I was late until Jed DM'd me. He goes like, "Where are you?"
And I'm looking. He hasn't even looked at the link yet. He hasn't even looked at the link.
I've been watching Stargate. I've been on Twitter.
Well, okay, now you lost me. Because that anyway. All right. So we're here. Howdy to the chats. Let's get to this. So here we are. So this episode, Brad, what's the real title of this episode?
The real title is Series Acclamation Mill.
Supremely Annoying Manatee.
Okay. I know we're not going to do that the entire time because you said that on your review.
I know.
I, as someone who actually lives near Manatee County, I feel like I have to speak up for the manatee population in Florida and say this is extremely insulting for them. They have enough problems avoiding boat propellers.
I know.
They don't need this on them.
All right, so I will not, from this point forward, I'll call her Sam because I can't say the full joke every time because she is the episode. And I want to get this out of the way quickly. B plot, worthless.
Oh yeah.
Oh, entirely. It's jokes. It's just bad comedy.
It's bad jokes, bad comedy, and I don't know what the purpose of it was other than Holly Hunter's feet.
There's no point.
It was
it's
there
just to show her emasculating the dean of the War College again, and
Yeah.
shows that she's still I believe that Aki is the worst character in the show, that she's the most immoral, that she's doing the most damage to these kids, because a good Starfleet chancellor or whatever could turn these kids around, try to make a good officers out of them. She's not. She's only exacerbating their current flaws. And she's ruining Starfleet. Starfleet will fall apart because of her teaching methods. And she's just an idiot. She calls something a double negative, thinking that she's so pompous and smarter than everybody else, but it's not a fucking double negative.
Jed, remember where Admiral Vance found her? Teaching at a kindergarten. So her teaching experience is teaching children, which explains why she infantilizes young adults.
She infantilizes herself.
Oh, and speaking of that, I want to point out, so we've been debating on how old these characters are, right? We're doing the math with Caleb.
We got
15 years. And yeah, I always thought they were teenagers because of the way that they're acting. This feels like a high school drama. And in the pop-up when Sam was looking at Fishboy, it confirmed that he at least is 17, which is what I was thinking. So
by his species.
By species standards. So
and
I doubt they thought it through though, because the math doesn't work out for Caleb being 17 as well. So they just
he's 21.
He's 21. He's 21. But here's the thing, that whole B plot is just so we know that Commander, not Captain of the War College, is angry at her because she quit 15 years ago. And then she has to make friends with him. That's the whole.
Oh, there's this thing I forgot.
And I don't necessarily blame him for that. She gave up for a stupid reason and then came back and was given the keys of the kingdom to reshape the future of the quadrant.
Yeah. So it's a worthless B plot, and I said it, Brad, you said it too. We could have been done 20 minutes earlier in order watching this shit if that had not been in there.
I just imagine they're all sitting around filming this, like, look how funny we are. They bet they're having a great old time, and it's like this.
Tawny Newsome. Tawny Newsome thinks she's hysterical.
Legitimate question: what was the moral of this story?
Be rebellious.
Yes.
The imaginary pep talk
do not
that Sam
listen
gives
to
herself. Yeah.
Children are a future. Don't listen to your elders. We have no knowledge.
Jeremy,
I watched the episode and I'm sitting there going like, what was the purpose of all this? Like, what am I supposed to take away? What is the deep philosophical questions that I'm answering? And it's only just, it feels like things happened for the sake of things happening, and I hated it.
And Derby, since you haven't seen the first couple episodes, there is a theme to this. Children know better than adults. This is a continue. We've had 3 episodes out of the 5 now that are pushing that narrative. Children know better than adults, and the adults
are retarded.
Children, yeah,
we're all retarded. We don't know better than half of you people.
They had a whole diplomatic conference to bring Beta Z back into the Federation, and they had it in front of children. So you have high-level diplomatic talks occurring in a auditorium at school so kids can watch. And they finally decided to do it because all the kids stood up in unison saying, "We want our future."
After last week, psychic barrier.
So last week, a Klingon said stuff to give Klingon homeworld. This week, hologram creature thingy said something.
The holograms that have been confirmed to have a long lifespan, like the Doctor, who's almost 1,000 years old at this point, they've forgotten the humans who invented them 200 years ago.
So let's talk about this whole thing. So first off, I found out something interesting. You know who one of the voices of the hologram masters was?
No.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Really?
They got Chiwetel Ejiofor in this nonsense?
He's a great actor.
Yes. Apparently, I found it on. I was reading through Screen Rant because that's where you put the shill shit up. It says that's him. He's one of them. And also, I pegged the Mork and Mindy comment, and I was just glad that someone else like Az caught it too. But that was totally Mork and Mindy.
You're right. You were absolutely right.
I missed that.
Yeah,
I
haven't watched that in easily.
I know. But this reminds me of something, and that's what it was. But speaking of which, so you guys, what do you think about this? She is supposed to be an emissary. Why would you send an emissary to Starfleet Academy? also another isolationist planet that wants to maybe join. Why do you send a TARD to find out if it's safe for them to join? Wouldn't you send a highly evolved, highly intelligent being that knows what to look for? Instead, you send
one
an
of
idiot
the elders.
child.
You send the
Yes.
one that
One
was
of the
created
makers.
17 days before you sent her there, and also
Who chose to be retarded?
who continues.
Someone
to be
made her
retarded.
that way.
Yeah, she's made that way.
She was programmed to be a 17-year-old, and that comes with personality.
And she'll happily
defects.
open up her entire programming to Caleb
Yes.
Boy Genius.
Sexy.
Couldn't you just change it, like get rid of Tism? It's that easy. When did they get HUDs? When did holograms get HUDs?
I don't know. But all right, but Brad, you brought up the whole point of this episode is the word emissary. And I'm gonna keep referring to say Tawny Newsome doesn't understand that there's a difference between emissary and diplomat.
Mm-hmm.
They sent Sam there to train to be a diplomat, not to be she calls herself an emissary. But she's learning to be
Cisco's
a
an emissary. That's
that's where
that's as
that's
deep as they
where it
thought
comes
about it.
Yeah,
But they straight up thought the audience was morons though, because they put the definition of emissary written on the screen to break the fourth wall.
Big job.
And then, like you said, they completely contradict the actual definition of emissary. So they don't know what it is. Write the definition on screen and don't match that definition.
Jed, what
idiots.
it is big job.
Oh, that's right. Big job.
Big job. Because they had to tell you.
Well, it'd have to be a big job to fit her ass in it.
Well, that's true.
So,
but not only do they write it on the screen, big job, they tell you like seconds later, big job, and they keep telling you big job.
So,
and they have to show you all the stuff and the pops.
Right. So that is interesting because they mentioned it on FNT. They said that's from like Clarissa Explains It All, like the pop-ups on the screen. I didn't know that because I was
a kid. I watched Melissa Joan Hart.
When did it come out? In the 90s?
Yeah, early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Feels like it was later.
Well, it was no, because then she became Sabrina. She was Clarissa before she was Sabrina.
Well, there was like the idea
Clarissa
of things popping up to explain shit. That's been around for a while. That was in Diary of a Wimpy Kid and shit like that. So
well, they got it.
And it's the end.
That's a great example of they're just ripping off everything they can. They rip off DS9. They rip off what you guys are talking about with Clarissa. And with her story, with Sam's story, if any of you guys are fans of the Orville, it is the identical story as Isaac from the Orville. It's the exact same thing. So they're parodying a parody of Star Trek instead of just being Star Trek.
I mean, it's not like they sent like you said, they sent Isaac there to learn, and he's like a spy. So I mean, that was actually a good storyline.
It was really good. I loved the Orville. I think
the parody is better than what you have now.
So speaking of copying, I caught on to it in one way, and as I've defended myself, I wish I had realized this from my review, but Brad caught it and I did not. This episode, in multiple ways, is mimicking In the Pale Moonlight, one of the, if not for me, the greatest DS9 episodes. I mean, Brad knows that's already one of my 10 out of 10s.
I said it in my review. It's getting 10 bars.
Yeah, it's that is a 10 out of 10. It is one of the best episodes ever. Season 6, episode 19, and it's essentially a fourth wall break episode while Cisco's delivering a captain's log about trying to get the Romulans into the Dominion War. And that's the only reason Tawny Newsome has Sam breaking the fourth wall, because Cisco broke the fourth wall. And because you caught it at the end, and I missed it because I was enraged. I was still enraged over the Dax revelation. But you caught it. You caught it, Brad. And I'm glad I missed it.
There's another 10-bar episode that is mentioned that's directly referenced here. Anselm.
That's
The Visitor.
Yeah. I had a feeling that's Yep.
So that's two of the best DS9 episodes that they're just ripping off. And it's literally you didn't even read the memory alpha. You read the Wikipedia. If you read the memory alpha, you get the whole story, what it means.
Yeah. So no, I forgot that he shows Anselm at the end of the Visitor. I forgot that. Wow. I see. I know that episode, but that little thing of the book, I forgot about that. Great catch.
That's why I got the weird accent. Weird.
I remember the stuff, but I'll sometimes I know the beats for the episode, but I'll forget the part of the book right there, like I did. I wish I'd remember that. It would have been great for the review. But this is why we do this here. We talk about the things. We remember, we catch each other and miss little things, but that's the important thing. This is Tawny Newsome reading a wiki page or hearing a line, because freaking, and this actually, I didn't just add here. This is actually in my clip library here on Stream Elements. I'm sorry, StreamYard. And I'm going to play it.
Stream Elements is another thing.
Shut up. I'm not talking to you right now. Anyway, yeah, look sad because
I'm not sad. I'm still waking up.
I've been up since 9. Anyway, here's the line in its true moment.
But the most damning thing of all, I think I can live with it. And if I had to do it all over again, I would.
You know, the weird thing is, that was the best part of this episode, was that line, and it made me actually think about that line. But then I started wondering, how does this entangle with the episode at all?
Because they stole it from a true episode of perfect Star Trek.
After this episode, is anybody else terrified, like myself, that Tandy is going to be the heir apparent for when Kurtzman leaves?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
She's been in with the lower decks,
but it's still
she's been doing more Star Trek than nearly anybody else.
But here's the thing: when Kurtzman's contract is up at the end of this year,
cleaning house.
That's it. Because they're already going another direction. We just don't know what they're doing. It's not Kurtzman.
Well,
this is
Starfleet Academy season 2 is not coming out this year, so there's still going to be dregs of it after his contract expires.
Yeah. But right there are elements of good DS9 cherry-picked and bastardized throughout this entire episode. And that was, to me, once Brad realized it and pointed it out, that's the most egregious. My whole thing is that Tawny Newsome chose to basically write a self-insertion fan fiction, making herself a central character, not necessarily in this, but now in Star Trek, by creating a character to make her Dax.
$5 says she doesn't even know who Dax is.
She knew enough to get it from Wikipedia.
I mean, because here's the thing, and I had to look this up, and Brad even corrected me later on, because I got the times wrong on how old the Dax symbiont is in DS9, where a symbiote lives max life around 560 to 600 years. That's its lifespan. I went and looked up because I didn't know. I was curious. I was like, wait a minute. There's no way the symbiote lives that long, and it doesn't. Rare occasions, they said 800 years. Very rare occasions. But no. And Brad, how old would the Dax symbiote technically be if it did survive this long? 32nd century.
Well, first off, in DS9, the Dax symbiote is around 350 to 360 years old.
Okay.
Actually, I think it should be a little bit older based on generations and being on the 7th life, but this now takes place in the 32nd century. So the 24th century to the 32nd century, you're talking another 800 years. So that Dax symbiote is probably at least 1,200 years old.
It's in full senile. It's senile dementia. That's the only thing I can explain this right now. Senile dementia. Senile dementia. This is...
and you would not know that was a Trill.
Yeah, you wouldn't, because when she... At what level of Trill is even in that monstrosity of an alien there?
Someone thought it was a Cardassian mixed with a Trill, but even that doesn't make any damn sense.
That one
another half breed.
That wasn't a spoon. Was it a spoon?
There was like the sides had that. There was no spoon or anything. I don't know what that was. But Trill are there. Trill are there in that time frame. We had one on Discovery.
Yeah,
that had used pronouns.
Pronouns, yeah. And didn't she talk to herself, if I understand it, or something?
She had I forget what it was, like an imaginary friend or something, or a psychological friend, and then they made a body for it, and then they were like non-binary lovers or something. I don't know. It's
but point is, she made herself Dax. That to me is just so insulting because
what
all right. Jeremy, hold that question because I want to ask Jed something for this segment here. Hold your question. Jed, the most insulting and most incredibly lowbrow type of writing is self-insertion fan fiction. Am I wrong?
Oh, absolutely. Every first-time writer on their first novel, they usually self-insert themselves, and that's fine. It's a good starting point to understand what a three-dimensional character is supposed to look like, but that's seen as beginner crap. You evolve past then, and you know you're a really good writer when you can make three-dimensional characters that aren't yourself. So it's a good starting point. If you're still doing that as a quote-unquote professional in an industry, you're not a professional. You're still a beginner. You're still woefully untalented. So yeah, doing it professionally is one of the cringiest, laziest things you can possibly do, especially self-insertion of that importance. Because Dax, I was talking to my wife about this, and she's not a fan of Star Trek, and I compared what happened with Jadzia Dax to Atreyu from Neverending Story, is that it's always too soon to talk about it. Yeah. Every franchise has that one thing that is just so sad and horrible that you don't talk about it. It's still too soon to talk about what happened to Jadzia Dax. And that feeling is she wants to capitalize off of it.
I can't wait
transfer that love
talk
to
about
herself.
It with us.
Oh, man.
Well,
I mean, all right, Dermy, what's your question?
That goes into my question. As the guy who doesn't know who Dax is and any of the connections of Dax, sorry, Jed, who's Dax?
Okay.
Because I looked him up. I've seen like at least the first guy version of him with no lips. I've seen
no. That isn't Dax. That was in TNG. All right. Dax is the name of the symbiont. The species are called Trill.
Yes.
They live in a symbiotic relationship with these essentially worms. Think of it like this. Let me put it in a way you can understand it. This is how we got Hitman to understand it when we explained it to him. Think of it as a Goa'uld, but not an invasive parasite.
Okay.
It's a living creature that stores memories, but doesn't have a distinct personality of its own. It's sort of basically a biological databank of lifetimes and experiences. And
so, unlike the Goa'uld, Dax are
Trill. No, Dax is the name of the symbiont and the character. Trill is the species.
What was that underground Goa'uld network that they were like good guys?
Tok'ra.
Yeah, the Tok'ra.
Kind of like
so think of it as the Tok'ra instead of like the people that want to just dominate everything. Got it.
Yeah, but here's the thing: the symbionts that live in symbiotic relationship with the Trill, they don't have a consciousness of their own. Not really. They they live in the belly. They don't attach to the brains or anything. There's a pouch on a Trill where they can just slide it in there.
They're kind of puppet people.
So like
they're a host. They're just a host. Really, literally, the term is host.
Well, and some of their personality rubs off, right? Because Dax,
it's memory.
It's minor because Sisko's his mentor, the previous Dax, had a slightly different personality, and then Jadzia Dax versus the other Dax.
Curzon was a man and an older man and had a longer lifetime. Series. The thing is this: here's how it works.
Ezri.
We'll talk about Ezri. What happens is a symbiote has the memories and experiences of its previous hosts, and it's meant to evolve the symbiote each time it goes to a new host so that they can create a stronger, basically, educational system and pass things on. So, perfect example is episode DS9 where Dax discovers she had a secret host that was erased from the symbiote's memories. Turned out to be a mistake. They put it in a serial killer, and they didn't want that to damage the memories of the symbiote. The problem is, at one point, the memory block starts to break, and the memories are seeping in, and Dax is having a meltdown because the symbiote and her brain waves are not talking to each other anymore. She's starting to die. So they have to unlock it. And at the end of the episode, that serial killer also have to be a good musician. So suddenly she can play music. And it's that you retain skills and memories, but you do not really have a personality that isn't yours. You become changed because suddenly you gain all the knowledge, but you're still you at the core. It's not a Goa'uld taking over and forcing its own personality and suppressing yours, or a Tok'ra blending where you switch back and forth. between the two, and you have a shared.
Could it be kind of like a Gould or Tok'ra mixed with the Jaffa, because the Jaffa has the pouch? And
they share. It's sort of like a Jaffa in the sense that the symbiote becomes a part of the body's biological functions. But and if you separate the Trill and a symbiote, they will both die. A Trill will die within a day without a symbiote if they've been joined, because it's permanent. But a symbiote can then be rejoined with another Trill. Perfect example is in the lore of DS9, because Jadzia gets murdered by Gul Dukat at the end of season 6, who's possessed by Paw Wraith. She dies, and they weren't going to make it to Trill in time. So they grabbed the nearest Trill they could find on another Starfleet vessel, Ezri, played by Nicole de Boer. And she got the Dax symbiote, which was established. Now, she had 0 training to be a host. There's a whole process of becoming years of training. And the Trill Society did that because there aren't enough symbionts to go around. So they put out a myth that only 1 in 400, or 1 in 1,000, Brad will know the number when he comes back, are able to be joined. That was a lie. It's actually half the population is able to be joined. They established that in that episode about the murderer. So what happens is, but by setting that groundwork, they were able to make it so that, Ezri had no training, but she's now Ezri Dax. And she has all the memories. And it causes a lot of problems in season 7 because Jadzia had been married to Worf, and she's got all these memories. And you're not supposed to have encounters with people who had romantic entanglement with from a previous life. And Ezri doesn't know how to process it. And there's a whole bunch of good Ezri stuff. And now, when Brad and I get to that, we talk about with Hitman and Fractured. Generally, nobody really, and chat, feel free to chime in whether you disagree. We don't really like Ezri because we had 6 seasons of Terry Farrell as Jadzia. Ezri's fine, but she's not great, and it's just not right. I'm personal opinion, they should have just had not had Dax come back. Yeah, creates a few good storylines for season 7. Wouldn't have been better if she just hadn't come back. And that's something I will say in a couple years when we get to season 7 on Wormhole Watch, and Hitman and Fractured lose their minds over the Jadzia's murder. So that's yes, Maze. The symbiote's name is the Dax symbiote, and once you're joined, your surname becomes the symbiote. That's why it's Jadzia Dax. Why it was Curzon Dax. Why and all that kind of stuff there.
We're still on that. Okay.
Well, look, Jeremy needed he needed a full primer on Trills and Symbios. Basically, I broke it down like what we broke down for Hitman, compared it to Gould. So that was the best one. So
Jadzia Dax is gorgeous.
Yeah, so I was right now just talking about how they were able to put it in Ezri and this and that, and Ezri didn't have the training, but it was already established in the show that you didn't have to be trained. It was just a biological thing. And at the same time, I was also saying then, this is something I was going to say for Wormhole Watch, but I said there, I think they should never have reintroduced Dax at all.
No.
They should have just let it go.
That was a mistake. Yeah.
It was a mistake. And it's not Nicole de Boer's fault.
No, she did fine. She did fine with the roles she was given.
And there were a few good storylines, but they should have just let Dax go and not put us through that.
Yeah.
So, all right. So while you were gone, it was all the primer. So you haven't missed anything about Starfleet Academy. You just missed a lot of good DS9 talk.
Damn it.
Sorry.
I just need to understand what the
Starfleet Academy.
I just need to understand what Dax was, and now I get it. And now I'm a little bit more like, what the fuck? What? How?
Free. I cannot take a chance on reacting to any videos right now because I have a strike on this channel at the moment for a retarded thing that happened a month ago. So until March 2nd, we don't take a chance playing any videos on this channel right now. It's just the way it is. I am playing it safe. Anyway, so back to this shit. So now you understand, Dermy, the complete revulsion to them taking Dax.
And now it makes me really start questioning what the fuck I still saw.
Yes.
Because nothing makes sense. You want to end up doing this whole thing with like, hey, the big Dax reveal and stuff, but then Dax should be senile and I guess is testing fat
be
hologram
dead.
chick. Well, okay,
She's
dead and senile.
several
Dead if not
centuries too
senile.
old. Mm-hmm.
But is somehow testing fat bitch, and I don't. What the fuck?
Well,
How is anything here?
But she's going to uncover the mystery of Benjamin Sisko, which is no mystery.
There
at
is
all.
no mystery. We know exactly where he is.
Yep.
Everybody knows exactly where he is. He's in the Celestial Temple, out of time.
The only question was, did he ever return? Because
there was a book. There, I think I've told the story.
Yes,
it was the end of the the end of the 2020, the early aughts, where I was getting into Star Trek novels, kind of like the expanding universe for Star Wars. And I thought, okay, because I was walking through Barnes and Nobles, they had this hardcover, and I forget the title of it, but the cover was a spiritual vision of Sisko, and it had Kira on the cover, but she was in a Starfleet uniform, full commander. And I thought, wow, they're gonna answer the question. But there's a lot of books that came before this, so I started reading all the books came before it. But then I kind of realized, wait a minute, none of this counts. This isn't like the EU where it counts for Star Wars.
But they actually tried to wrap it up because they made it an interconnected universe. It was all the pocket books, I believe, and I think there was even a Jem'Hadar. It was like starting season 8. There was a Jem'Hadar soldier.
Odo sends a Jem'Hadar
Yeah.
too, and they put Ro Laren as head of security.
Right.
It was a whole thing. It was a whole thing because it was originally supposed to be Ro and not Kira, but Michelle Forbes didn't want to do it.
Ro.
Yeah.
I do want to fuck.
Well, we know what happens to her. Well, I do. I don't know if Jed remembers or if he's seen it.
I don't remember.
He hasn't seen it. He hasn't seen it yet.
You haven't seen it yet.
Well, I've seen it before. I just don't remember.
No, he hasn't seen Picard
No,
season 3
you've
yet.
not seen Picard season 3.
Oh, is that when that happens? Okay.
It's actually, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. So
as long as she suffers, I'll be happy.
I'm not saying anything.
I'm not saying anything. Anyway, no. So so I started reading that series, and then I got a couple books in, and then I realized, wait a minute, this doesn't count. None of this is going to be canon to TV shows. So I gave up. I never got that far because I really want to see what they were going to say. Because in that particular series of books, they also created the origin for the Borg too in that series of books, which was pretty interesting. Interesting take on how they got.
You know what? If real quick before we jump back onto our awful subject, it would actually be. It's kind of fun to think about. Like, I know it's not canon, but they try to maintain consistency with canon because that's what they did back then. So if you really want to look at the universe going beyond, I mean, they even had the Riker on the Titan with Deanna and everything. So, I mean, if you want to really follow the idea of Star Trek being written by people who actually paid attention to it, what happened afterwards, it's not a bad starting point.
Yeah. It's a lot of good stuff. I just couldn't commit to it because it wasn't going to be canonized. And
it was just default for people back then to try to keep it within canon, even if it could be overridden later. Like you're talking about.
Same thing with EU
movies or what? Yeah. They just,
except
the default.
Except George had power over the EU. He had veto power, and nothing happened without his say so, which is why it has a higher canon rating than the Star Trek books. Yeah, because George was involved.
Yeah, like Gene Roddenberry had him involved with the books. That would be very different.
Oh, he had no.
I want to read the Star Trek books. So if anyone has recommendation for just a great,
I'll go find. I'll go look at the list. I got some.
Brad's got
some for you.
Brad's got that for you. Anyway,
I love to.
All right, what did you say? Feet?
Yeah.
What?
What's wrong?
How much feet are in these books?
Not enough.
I'm trying to drag us back over to the show.
I know, and I'm going to. I don't need you to say feet for me to drag us back to it. God damn it, Dermy.
Well, apparently Starfleet wants us to focus in on the feet.
It's Starfleet.
Starfleet.
Oh, you know.
It's not. No, it's actually. There's no longer Starfleet Academy. It's Starfleet Leering's Academy. So, or Leering Center.
The next pedicure.
Starfleet Leering Center.
All right. So back to Dermy asking the question. What is this even for? That's the problem. It goes back to the early part of the conversation. A misunderstanding of what an emissary is. And it also goes back to Tawny Newsome not understanding what Benjamin Sisko was as the emissary of the prophets. He was created as something to deal with a problem that the prophets knew was going to happen because they see everything at once. Time doesn't exist for them. They needed a weapon against the Pa race. So they created Benjamin Sisko. That's a bare bones thing about it.
It's really tough to follow unless you watch the whole thing. In my opinion, it really kind of contradicts Emissary too.
Yeah. It does. But that's a bare bones thing. To protect themselves and an emissary. They created Ben Francisco to protect themselves and protect Bajor, because everything the prophets do, the wormhole aliens do, is for Bajor, because they are of Bajor. We are of Bajor. It's all about protecting Bajor.
So then Bajor. Okay, here's my question.
Okay.
Is Cisco Muhammad now?
Well, apparently that's how they're treating him.
Yeah. Brad, why don't you explain?
They wouldn't show photos of him. That's very Muhammad.
Well, now there's a question as to whether or not they were allowed to use Avery Brooks' likeness. I don't see why they wouldn't. But they used his voice. They used his voice from a spoken word poem that he did in an audio novel.
Rights to that?
That's the question right now.
No. They asked permission.
Oh, they did. Okay,
that's why I said thank you, Avery, at the end, because they asked permission. They also talked to Cyril Lofton because he and Avery Brooks are still close, because they developed like a surrogate father-son relationship, playing father and son. And Adam knows I praise all the time the way they portray Ben Sisko and Jake Sisko as a father and son. It is a fantastic representation, especially in the 90s, of a young black family, because you don't get that now.
So then
I think it's very significant.
Was Jake Sisko played by the same person?
Yes. That is the one bright spot of this. When after Captain Holly Hunter sends Sam to the and Brad, it was a fake museum. That was not.
I know.
There is an actual tier of the Prophet on Earth.
No, there's not. No, there's not. No, there's not. No, there's not. No. We're not doing that. No.
There shouldn't be. The Majorans would not give that shit up after the occupation.
No way. No way.
I was a little worried that it would actually work, the holographic.
But that was a holographic representation of the tier. But that shouldn't even be there. But she sends her to the thing. And while she's there, we got
digitally.
What? Well, it was but first of all, she could have just transported over to the fucking museum. She's on Earth. It's a transport away. But I guess they didn't have the budget for it to make something outside the fucking school. Anyway, go in there. There's two problems with this entire scene. Well, there's one problem. There's a lot of problems with that scene, but then there's one that is dumb. Once again, Tawny Newsome doesn't do her homework. And I spotted it, and Brad spotted it too during the review. There's a family tree, a Cisco family tree that's on several wall panels. And she stops in one of the front that has Benjamin in it. And it shows he married Cassidy Yates, and that's a story for another time. We'll deal with Cassidy Yates another time. Brad, what was Cassidy Yates at the end of season 7?
She was knocked up.
There was a baby Benjamin in the oven.
Didn't they end up saying that in this episode? They said that Cisco's son was Cassidy's.
No. They had that right. They had him connected to Jennifer Sisko, his mother. Problem is, when you look at the tree, there's no continuing family tree from Cassidy Yates, who had a Sisko heir in her belly.
So even if the child that died, there still would have been a symbol of the child, because that's offspring.
Yeah.
In the episode, like what we just saw, the son says Benjamin married Cassidy to take care of both of us.
Yeah,
he accepted both of us.
It was a stepmom.
Stepmom.
He's already 21.
What I'm trying to say is the show, like Starfleet, essentially said that Benjamin's son was Cassidy's. If you don't know, like what they were laying down was that Cassidy was the one. Yeah, it's all fucked up, but they're. So now, I'm confused. So Cassidy had another kid apparently, but the show's like
they didn't. They forgot. Tawny Newsome forgot she's an idiot
to take care of me.
Jake did not need taking care of when they got married. Jake was 20 years old.
Yeah, he was.
And I also disagree that they had the funnest time.
Fucking fried right now. They were trying to imply that he was her kid.
I think you just misunderstood it because they have bad writing. That's what I think it is. This is bad writing. But probably is so they missed that right there. They didn't acknowledge the fact that there should be another line. And Brad said, even if the kid died in childbirth or something, there should still be shown that there was a child. But
how happy were those last few months together, Adam?
They were at war with the Dominion.
Yeah.
They were the happiest months of his life, though.
We'll get back to that in a second. So during that, though, she pushed the button, and then we get a holographic recording of Jake talking about father, and that's real Jake Sisko right there. That
was
Jake
fine.
Sisko, and that was cool. It's like, hey, Cyril Lofton, nice to see you, buddy.
He's
cool.
Clearly the best actor in the show.
Well, it's because he has experience.
He's also recalling because he knows what the character is. Now, this is my notes that I was writing down. Cyric, totally fine first time, respectful Sisko. It was a respectful presentation of Ben Sisko. And honestly, I don't think they disrespected Ben Sisko in this episode. I think they misrepresented him. I didn't think they changed
it. Yeah.
I think they were scared to touch him.
Good. You don't do that. They've already fucked up by touching Kirk in Stranger Worlds.
I think they were legitimately terrified to touch him because of just how popular DS9 has gotten this past go-arounds. They fucked up so many other people. I think they wanted to do something here, but they were
think about it.
Scared.
I thought that they would actually include him, like have his voice come out of the orb or whatnot, and just find some way to talk about him in that temple.
I mean, he was next on the list because you're right, Brad. They fucked up Kirk. They fucked up Picard with Patrick Stewart.
What'd they do to Spock? Good Lord.
They
waited until Nimoy dies before they raped the before they F the fucking corpse.
And they even fucked up Janeway with fucking Prodigy. They even fucked up Janeway. So it was
Archer's okay right now. Archer's still safe.
It was Sisko's turn. But
is Archer next?
Well, Scott Bakula is trying to do another series. He wants to continue
President Archer. He wants President Archer, which I don't want.
I don't need a West Wing Star Trek. But here's one that I caught on the second watch when I was going through looking at things. Why is there a typewriter in the museum?
That's from a fantasy. No. When he's Benny, that's a delusion.
Mm-hmm.
That's a delusion. There is no.
Yep.
Fuck, I didn't even notice.
A great episode. Too.
I noticed it. Yes, Far Beyond the Stars. One of the other ones that gets a lot of Latinum from me.
They handled racism really well.
Exactly, Jed, you're totally right. That is the proper way to handle racism because, and then they even got it back in the one where they went to save Vic's bar because remember
that's such a glorious episode. That's a perfect example of a day in the life episode without super consequences to the station. I love that episode. All right,
point of order, Dermy.
Next question. Just because I'm seeing you guys gush over Sisko and everything, and the only real connections I have are you guys and what the show told me. Does Sisko have like a real big attraction to both baseball and DS9 and Gumbo?
Yes.
Like, is that an actual?
Okay. All right. His passion is baseball.
His passion is baseball
for sports, and he grew up in a family of chefs.
Okay.
So his dad runs a restaurant in New Orleans. So
he does love Gumbo. Gumbo.
Did we get any confirmation that he actually grew tomatoes in his room, though?
No.
In DS9?
No.
That was a weird.
You could just replicate tomatoes.
Well, that's that's also a retarded fucking thing. When Sam brings all the food to the peanut gallery Mongoloid squad, Benjamin Sisko used fresh ingredients to make his food. He cooked his food.
Because Joseph did not use replicated food.
So by replicating Sisko food, there's no way you're going to have the same experience of eating Sisko food. Nope. That is such a misunderstanding. It's all fake.
The only good part about that scene is it made me want to get my Cajun food again. Get some good Creole.
There's a fire in my mouth.
He's going to get a lot of things in his mouth real soon.
There's going to be something in his mouth.
He's wearing a fucking skirt.
Okay, do we know what? All right, so what do we have? We are now officially going to call him Gaiden, right? Because he's totally gay.
I just call him Gay Klingon now. I just call him Gay Klingon.
It's Gaiden.
Yeah, he's very gay.
And I want to
jealousy too.
I also want to shout out to Adam pointing out the pitcher catcher thing after I did that the AI video. I did a 3-minute AI video which I showed the guys before Wormhole Watch of the last episode using Grok, and I have at the end, he goes, "I'm the Klingon who catches, I do not pitch."
I get tortured by these things. So yeah, with that skirt, you know he's catching, and they go
It's
out of
canon,
their way.
Adam.
They go out of their way to bring back the white dude from the War College to hit on him, and we all caught it. We all caught it. Bitch boy, fish boy, he's jealous. Oh, he was so jealous.
But he's in.
Quit engaging with him. You're crossing the boards. Your boundary. You're out of bounds.
All right. So
do we want to go to the bar?
At least one thing I talked about a lot was the modernism, and in that scene, there's just a great piece of modernism. But yeah, the comedy, the music, the dancing, that club. It's also the drag queen bartender. It's all super modern. No, but there's another piece of modern.
You guys don't understand. That person just literally wandered onto the set that day. That just walked. That was not cast. They just walked in with drinks.
You're hired.
I would actually believe that. I would legitimately believe that. But they were also very modern with they showed something very relevant. They showed a black woman hitting an Asian woman.
Well, yeah,
very relevant, very modern,
very.
Cisco, bar fight.
Oh, for the emissary.
So
wait, is that what he? Wait, he punched Sovok. That was the baseball episode. Remember the Vulcan captain? He punched. Didn't they get into a fight?
There was a fight.
Memory. Hold on. Take me out to the hall. I'm gonna check. Take me out to the hall. So we keep talk.
I don't get how a bar going to a bar is gonna help her understand Cisco more.
It isn't, because here we go. This is the other part of the retarded thing in this episode. To answer Dermy's question again, what are they doing? It's showing this sad, twisted evolution of this character who knows nothing and learns nothing. And her infantile behavior, and who was enabled by other retards.
Well, yeah, she's enabled by other retards. But even going to, so like before I get to the bar, the whole like I want to taste this food. Oh, I can play around with your and whatever. That is just insane. But okay, he has the ability now to make her drunk, and she taps it 12 times. Okay, if you know that now she's kind of fucked up, and we later see he has master control, couldn't you have always just turned down?
No, he had to go make out with Betazoid Tooth.
Listen, she's hot. I get it. Okay, I get it. But you should probably
you don't understand. First. We were told early in the episode that he has love for her in his penis. So
yes, we needed a penis, blood to the penis.
Wait, guys, we had the penis crossed out, the penis word crossed out, but we also heard the word morning wood laughed at. I mean,
you know what? Again, I was
not on my bingo card.
I was so enraged at that point that I completely missed that joke. It went right by me.
And then Stephen Colbert giggles at it for the next 30 seconds.
When I heard he was a digital dean, I didn't know what that meant. I thought it was like a dean that was actually like holographic. But no, he's just a PA system.
He's a PA system.
Yeah, and all right, speaking of holograms,
morning announcements.
I do want to bring this up because there's one scene after the bar fight, which to me says, wow, there's a moment where you could have actually done something well here.
I know what you're talking about. I wrote it down.
You missed it. Now, when everybody gets basically their only punishment is a lecture from the doctor. So it's their only punishment. But then Sam gets turned back to normal, and she's busy complaining about how do I deal with organics and their inability and to let go and the stuff. They want to harp on everything, and how do I deal with that? And it's a bunch of gobbledygook. And here you could see for a moment, okay, we could have a real moment with the doctor here, realizing he starts telling her, you learn to let go because they learn, and we learn from them. And for a second, Picardo acted because we know we can act. Picardo is a good actor. We know we can do it. And he acted for a second here instead of just being...
He played the doctor.
Yeah, played the doctor. And for a second, you could see he's remembering his crew and probably the other crews he had in his lifetime. Yeah. And then it's gone.
Oh, God. And you know what the worst part is? I don't like to call him the doctor because
I know, but it's the only way we can.
But the worst part is he actually is the doctor in that sense, because the doctor has people and then he has to let them go. He keeps going, but they don't, and that's part of the. I mean, that's what Tennant was talking about. You know, when they leave him, that's what makes him sad.
So you had a moment here to have a great conversation, and I'm sorry.
That should have been the crux of her arc, not the fake pep talk that she imagined. She imagines the pep talk that fixes everything at the end.
We'll go to that next.
But have the doctor make a personal connection because he's in the best position to understand her life and have him fuel her arc.
He is another hologram. He has seen so much. He has been all over the place. He's thousands of years old.
Well,
just get over it, though. 1,000.
He's 1,000 years.
Just get
900
just get over it, though.
Yeah, he could be 900. He's a hologram.
But they just gloss right over what could have been an actual deeply written, passionate, emotional scene. With good nostalgia baiting. But no.
Thank you. I was about to bring these out. Because the reason Picardo is in this show is this. Yeah. That's the only reason. There's no purpose for him. You have a holographic main character as a cadet. You then have the first holographic character ever in Starfleet. And you don't use him as a mentor. Again, this suffers because, and Adam knows I say this all this time, this suffers because you got 10 freaking episodes. You cannot develop the characters and the storylines between them in 10 episodes. So literally, this is, and I've used this phrase again, and I know some people don't know it, this is all blipverts. If you know what max headroom is, you know what a blipvert is.
Yeah.
Blipverts were 30-second commercials compressed into 3 seconds. We are living in blipvert society. This was back in the 1980s. Max Headroom, the TV show. That's what blipverts is. Quick, blop, blop, move. Blop, blop,
You're
blop,
right.
move.
You're right that it's blipverts. It's just go, 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 and then. I disagree with your overall point that you can't develop relationships or anything like that within 10 episodes. I highly disagree.
On this
show, anime does it well. You have to have good writers and have a good story.
Good writers is what this show is lacking. Because I was about to use Knights of the Seven Kingdom. You're only on episode
that's fair.
4 right now, and I am so entangled with every aspect of it, and I want to just keep going. Every episode just feels like it's not enough. Let me keep going because I love it so much, and they are doing really well. Good character-driven story there. That's because of good writing, though. That's because of actual intelligence and the capability of making you care about these people. These Paramount don't have that power.
Okay, Dermin, let me ask you this because I've not started watching that yet. How many main characters are there on Seven Kingdoms?
So there's, I would argue, 2 main characters, but there's so many other characters that are being mixed in.
All right, but tertiary don't matter. Okay. Brad, how many generally are there on a Starfleet on a Star Trek show?
On a Star Trek show, there's now modern. I'm not talking Kirk and Spock because that was a trio. On modern Star Trek, it is generally 6 to 7 characters who, over the course of a season, share the spotlight, get their own stories. Yeah. So we have 6 or 7 characters now. You can't do that in 10 episodes. That's what I mean.
You get 1 character per episode, and you don't get adventures that bond them. And sometimes there isn't even a character episode. It's the adventure.
That's a good point. Bond. It's.
I think it can be done under the right circumstances, but it's really hard.
Yes,
you have to be a really good writer, and it's rare.
You have to be
put it.
Yeah, Taylor Sheridan's a good writer.
TikTok writing.
Yeah, I would say TikTok writing is a good 100%. Example. But I think what it boils down to is the incapability of having good writers now. We don't have good writers. I think you can do a good storytelling within 10 episodes. It is hard, as Jed is playing out there, but I do think you need to be actually skilled and adept at being able to do that.
The other thing that I think that has been pointed out on FNT and the other shows is they don't write a story. They get messages they want to project in an episode and frame the story around that. So this is overall everything for this story for Starfleet Academy is kids are smarter than everyone else and we know better. That's in my opinion what this all is, as opposed to kids learning something. Robert Meyer Burnett said the best way to make Starfleet Academy is to make it the paper chase. Make the bad guys the antagonists, the professors. He says, like, have a Vulcan professor teach first contact class and have everyone conflict with him. And that's what it is. It is more intellectual. It's debating the Socratic method. It's all this stuff where you get students learning to become Starfleet officers instead of like, hey, let's go to a bar. Great. That's like what, teenage shows do today. You're not in a teenage show. You're in an intelligent show. Star Trek has always been a show about intelligence up until 2009.
There's no debate over the philosophy of anything going on.
Oh, because you can't have exploration when you're stuck at school. And Star Trek is about exploration, or when you tweak it at DS9, everything coming to one place and creating interactions.
And then we got a ship.
It's just a shuttle. It's just warp.
It's a little
of all the sci-fi shows out there, Star Trek is one of the few that you could pull off a grounded school show, like you're talking about, Brad. Just imagine one episode where these kids, just like every kid hearing the Prime Directive for the first time, and you see it in Star Trek normal episodes all the time. You hear about the Prime Directive, and you're like, "That's wrong. What if people are dying?"
Exactly,
and just having that instinctual moral abhorrence to it, and then you come to realize, wow, this is actually so important.
And we've actually seen it. Now, mind you, this is not my idea. This is Robert Meyer Burnett, same last name as me, different spelling. Obviously, RMB is like tier up here, like I'm here, which is pretty good. And he, but we've had that. Wesley's first test to join the academy, coming of age. He was in a simulation where he had to decide whether or not he let someone die. Why? Because it was testing what he would do. He's put in the position who's like, Captain Picard had to let my father die to save the crew. That's his backstory. That was a question for him. The first duty, they covered up the death of a classmate when they tried to pull off a fancy flying maneuver. That's when Nick Locarno, a.k.a. Tom Paris, Robert Duncan McNeil, first appeared. And because they wouldn't pay the writer, that's why it became Tom Paris instead of Nick Locarno.
And they could get away with that because they always reuse actors. So you can just
they always do that. Yeah. It's just in TOS, no one cared, but we were much more aware of it. But the point is, you can tell the stories. The Starfleet universe is vast. There's a wealth of knowledge and facts out there. Find it and put kids dealing with it. There's a holodeck. Make them deal with holodeck.
I was just thinking that.
Show me the Kobayashi. Show me a real Kobayashi Maru.
Here's my question.
I don't believe in the no-win scenario.
So Starfleet is supposed to be a military-esque,
paramilitary,
paramilitary,
quasi.
They're supposed to be having these actual structures to them. Where is any of that here? The closest thing I saw,
War College.
The War College was the thing that we are strict, even though that is.
And they wear black because they're strict, aren't we? So edgy.
Okay, so here's the lore.
That should also have some aspects in Starfleet where, we are respecting the rules of command. We are following this all through.
Here's the lore. The lore is this. Starfleet originally was always that way. It was an exploratory organization, and you go back and watch Enterprise, and when that was Earth had Starfleet. They had their own Starfleet. That's what Jonathan Archer was. He's part of Starfleet then. And they went out in the universe and they weren't prepared. They went with very minimal weapons because they're dumbasses. And we're just going to go out here and explore. Everyone's going to love us. Guess what? Jonathan Archer got his ass kicked many times. And then they started upgrading the Enterprise. Right. So that's where Starfleet had the military aspect. So yes, they were trained in a military style because you have to have a hierarchy when you're going out and exploring. You have to understand that you have to protect your butts. Now, what they've done here is this is all because of STD's burn. So Earth got cut off, and then everyone else in Starfleet was out in space, and they couldn't get anywhere because they effed up how dilithium works. So on Earth focused on protecting itself. So they got away from the idea of exploration, just focused on war. What we now are being presented is a Starfleet that was out in the universe that somehow developed some way to travel was all about exploration and meeting people and diplomacy. So they've literally, because of the burn, they split what Starfleet Academy originally was, what Starfleet was, into two separate things, where there used to be exploration with military. Now there's the military and the exploration. And that's where Holly Hunter is look, we're out here to talk to people, and we're going to learn to people. You stick up your butts, work hard, people. You're just military. No, the way it used to be, it was the same.
But even if there weren't all these threats out in the universe, there are benefits to military structure and discipline. They are in dangerous situations. There's natural phenomena that they come across all the time that nearly threatens them. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have that discipline, that military structure, you can't respond properly.
There's hierarchy. I mean, my job, I'm a lawyer. You guys know I'm a lawyer, okay? I'm a partner.
I didn't know you were a lawyer.
I don't know if I've ever mentioned that to you.
Yeah.
Probably not. But like, I'm a partner in a law firm. Okay, there are people below me. Okay, so like I have a command level above other people, and then there's command level above me. There's hierarchy in organizations. They're trying to. This is the worst part about Kurtzman Trek. They have never acknowledged like any hierarchy. Like they shout at the captain all the time at Discovery. They yell at her. They cry at her, and the captain breaks down on the fucking bridge. I'm like, how is there any command authority?
Because hierarchy,
I know,
but
no,
even on a logical,
patriarchy.
So again, I'm stepping into this late, but even on a logical level, okay, let's say that Starfleet gets separated from the Earth. Earth focuses more on war because it's isolationist. Starfleet's out into space doing more exploratory. Starfleet would still end up being very strict on a logical level because you are now cut off from your main resource system. You are stranded out in space. You would naturally have to develop these skills to survive out there, which is hierarchy.
Each ship would go isolationist.
Arguably enough, each ship would probably be more fascistic, for without a lack of a better term right now, because I can't think of it, than Earth is. If you actually like stringent on the rules and the hierarchy, because you have nobody else to help you out. So why are we now all, yes, we're just going to shove dildos up our assholes? I don't get it. I don't get it.
You don't get
All
it.
All right. Here's the thing. Jeremy, here's the answer. They didn't think. It's a very simple question. Kurtzman and his band of writers, and I use that term loosely, they didn't think to create lore and explanations for any of the shit they introduced because they just wanted it to be cool if nobody could travel across the galaxy the way they used to. So that the Discovery and its special spore drive would be the big savior of the 32nd century. There's your answer.
Other thing.
Brad. Am I far off on that, Brad?
That's pretty accurate. The other thing is they focus on making marginalized people more than before. Everyone's a refugee. Everyone's a victim. So it's literally they brought giant empires and made them marginalized people. The Romulan Empire is a marginalized people. The Klingon Empire is now marginalized people. Vulcans are marginalized people. They've taken great races.
Even the Borg too.
Yeah, the Borg got cucked. What they did in second season of Picard, Jesus Christ!
And then Terry Mattel said, "Yeah, that's what happened."
Well, God bless the main Todd Stashwick.
Listen, the main thing I know from Star Trek is
I love Todd Stashwick as that captain.
Cucking the Borg, that is a sin in my book. Because I love the Borg.
Literally, Terry Matalas had Todd Stashwick as Captain Liam something. Shaw. Drop a line saying, I didn't believe any of that Borg bullshit. They're still out there.
I'm asking all these lore questions because I'm only 2 episodes in. I don't know. I'm not a Star Trek guy here. But I don't get what it is that I'm supposed to be watching here. Like I'm not seeing.
It's a skin suit.
You're watching the CW teen drama series.
I don't even want to call it that. That feels like it's an insult to CW. That's what I'm trying to lay out there.
Oh yeah. By now CW right. People would have already had sex. Nobody's had sex yet.
There's pure nonsense here
that we know of.
We get
no, guys. Don't worry. Next week.
Oh, is it happening?
Is next week the 6-month period? Because they did mention 6 months in is when you can start hooking up.
I'm sorry. Did you say 6 month or 6 month period? Because we are going to get the first live action sex scene in Star Trek.
It is hetero though.
Time. They did say hetero. So I hope people rage against that because clearly we need to see military gay boy and gay den have sex.
Of course we do.
But I lay this out because I don't see the point. I don't see what I'm supposed to be acknowledging with. And when it comes to Sam, like all I'm getting is
sane. There are people out there defending this shit.
I've seen so many people say this is one of the best episodes of Star Trek, period.
Okay, but then you get like
those people need to be lobotomized.
The funny thing is, like, I think it was the Mary Sue article that said, right wingers like Nerdrotic and Gary and Critical Drinker who don't understand Star Trek are bashing. I'm like, dude, Gary was watching it before you were probably fucking born. I was watching Star Trek in 1980, for God's sakes.
I'll fully admit,
I've been watching it since '84.
I don't know Star Trek. I don't know
But
what
you
the
know
fuck
bad
I'm supposed to
TV.
be accepting here.
But-
I don't.
but
I feel like
you
this
watch
is a
Voyager.
curse from bad. Well, yeah, I did watch Voyager, and I saw.
You watched Enterprise.
Yes.
You should honestly, dude. You should go watch TNG. No, you should watch original series. You're gonna see like some good alpha male shit in it.
I mean, I've seen a couple episodes of original series. It's okay.
Bones is my hero of the original series.
I can give you
I
10
love
episodes
Bones.
right now that you need to go watch.
I
And
prefer
you can watch them in any
Stargate
order
and
because
Gundam.
they're not really connected. So
I prefer
Yeah.
Stargate, and when I want good other philosophical questions, I watch giant robots battle each other.
That's fine.
And it's sad. You know what's sad, Adam? I'm gonna lay this out here
okay.
because my favorite comment ever is Japan's answer to both Star Wars and Star Trek was Gundam.
Mhm.
It's sad that Witch of Mercury feels more like Star Trek than Star Trek does right now.
Yeah, but Witch of Mercury was a disaster.
Yes. Yes, it was. I would rather
And-
watch Witch of Mercury than this.
Or here's the thing: Witch of Mercury is another version of the slop we're seeing now because it takes place at a school.
And yet it is more yet it makes more sense than whatever the fuck we're watching here.
Sorry, I'm going.
And
over my list.
I'm laying that out, Adam, because
Now you get to not understand what we're talking about.
I
Brad.
don't
That's your
know
turn.
what's happening. Witch of Mercury was just
yeah.
nightmare fuel.
I've
I
got
don't
no
know
idea.
what's
I warned
happening.
you too, didn't I? I told you it was going to be bad when it broke down. I said it's not good. It's not going to end well.
I don't know what's
You
happening.
didn't believe
I
me.
don't know where we're going.
This is my
with it.
nerd blind spot.
Yeah. it's
Witch of
bad.
Mercury made more sense, and I hate Witch of Mercury. It's vile, it's scum, it's awful. It needs to be burned in pits of fire,
Yes, it does.
and it's better than this.
I'm sorry. I was going over my list because I made a bunch of lists.
Well,
of topics
we
I
need to
wanted
move to.
talk about.
Dermy is very correct that in some cases, but we need to now talk about talking about what it's about. It's about this episode is also about a crazy person. Sam is not well because she opens up a book and has a conversation with herself as Jake, and
what
that's
did
where
I-
it gets insulting because he says,
First off, there's
"Girl,
many issues.
this."
Hey sis, hey girl, hey girl. I felt like it was like a Justin Timberlake video or something.
Yeah.
First off, I called this out in my review. This is the Han Solo Kylo Ren moment where she is talking herself into saying, "I can be great." Kylo says, "I'm such a bad person." And he imagines Han saying, "I forgive you for stabbing me through the gut because I love you, son." And he's like, "You're right, Dad. You're great too. I love you too." That's what that is. That is cheap ass writing. And it's
Yeah.
JJ. It's JJ. And what did JJ start? 2009 Star Trek.
Well, Kirsten
did he
learned it-
train?
learned at the hip of
Connects.
JJ. Bad robot. Bad.
It's all
reboot.
poetry. It rhymes.
Everything
Right.
goes
Ah.
J.J. Abrams and the curse upon Hollywood.
Listen, that motherfucker is a
Dude
cancer
is still
that
in director's jail right now, as far as I can tell.
Oh yeah, he's not allowed to do anything. And
He
thank
has a new
God
show coming out here soon.
he does.
I hope it involves some
Secret.
mystery
I thought he's
box.
I think
producing
it's a
it.
movie. No, he read it. He
Because
wrote
he's
it
been
and directed
producing
it.
things. Okay.
You know, he didn't produce
I don't
anything
know
for
if it was a
DC
show
Comics.
or a movie, but he is.
But he still got $500 million.
Where the fuck did they get this? I swear to God,
Money
I think
laundering.
Now, didn't I say? I said that the other day. I'm like, I know where all the money's going on Starfleet Academy. It's going to the lens flares.
Mm.
Do you know the electrical bill for that goddamn set? Jesus.
You know, the more I think about it, the
he's
more
working on another Cloverfield. That's what he's working on.
What?
God damn it! The more I think about it, the more I agree with the holographic society, whatever the fuck it is. She needs to go back because she's defective. She's literally insane. She's defective. They need to go and fix her and bring in a new version of her, an upgraded version, because they fucked up.
And why is Starfleet Academy the best place to learn about the Federation?
That doesn't make any damn sense. Why would you send this dumbass tarded creature there? This is
not a diplomatic corps.
No, it's a serious mission, right? This is supposed to be a serious mission.
Would you? Okay, for the sake of argument, would it make sense if it was old version Starfleet? that you are wanting to do the diplomacy via Starfleet to discuss joining the Federation.
Starfleet, not the Academy.
Why would you send?
Yeah, you're right. Never mind.
You-
Never
you
mind.
don't-
I retract that.
You first off, I would say you just introduce a holographic character. This doesn't work for the show at all.
Well,
Yeah.
No,
Well, it
the,
doesn't
the
work.
To
mission
the
doesn't.
doctor and ask him.
The
it
mission
doesn't
doesn't
work
work.
because it's a hologram, but I mean, like, if you are a blossoming species, remove the
They're
hologram.
not.
Remove the hologram aspect.
Okay,
If you are a
okay.
blossoming species, you want to integrate within the Federation and Starfleet and all that, would you not send a potential cadet to Starfleet Academy to understand like their ways and learn it, so then that they can pass it down through other people?
I
Maybe
would
a
not.
group of cadets.
I would not.
No,
If I would,
because real Starfleet Academy is a grueling process. Only the best of the best get in. Because we're talking about
It's,
people that
it's
be
like, would you
crewing
really go to a high
ships.
school to understand how a mayor runs a
the
town?
United States government works.
Well, my thought process is, if this is legitimate Starfleet and you guys are like trying to
So
integrate,
20. Let's go
you
back
would
to
send the
24th
best.
century.
Yeah, you would send the best.
I can't do
to begin the
calculus. I would have been
process.
kicked out.
I'm
No,
fat.
my problem is my problem is this. My problem is this. Why would you send this quote? I'm just going to say holographic emissary because that's what she calls herself. Why would you
Yeah.
send Sam?
Mhm.
Or if you're the species wanting to reintegrate, why would you send the person trying to figure out if it's safe? This society, the holographic society we're talking about, is scared.
Well, they
They're
also
scared
have they have the retarded concept. We want you to take this class about unsolved mysteries.
The fuck is that?
What is that going to teach
It's
you?
so dumb.
There's no
And then
reason
she
to
just
make her do
refuses
that
to at the
class.
end and tells
I
him
just
to
like-
fuck off.
I just like, I wonder, see,
Later.
honestly, the professor should have been Robert Stack. Tonight on Unsolved Mysteries. Or maybe, oh, you know what?
Or
Don't you remember?
Bring in Frakes.
I was going to say Franks.
Frakes.
Mhm.
Bring in Frakes.
Why? Wait, why would an unsolved
The clips
mysteries
of that are
class
so funny.
be at Starfleet?
There's no
Because
reason.
you had to have
More
an
important-
excuse to
Oh,
write
and
yourself in as
this is-
Dax. That's why.
This is just an aside, but they mentioned that the semester is almost over.
Yes.
And then Dax says, yeah, we're taking our midterms right now. It's too late for you to join.
Yeah.
Yeah, midterms are absolutely at the end of a semester. These people, they all go to college because you have to these days, but I don't think they remember any of it. They're on
Well,
too much drugs.
midterms are midterm, so that's the mid semester.
Yes.
So they're halfway
But they're
through
at the end of the semester. Yeah, that's what I'm making fun of them. It
That's
should be
easy.
finals for being the end
Yeah.
of the semester.
Is it
Tawny
the end of the semester?
Newsome.
I
They
think-
Wait, are
specifically
they
say at the
all-
beginning, yeah. They said
they at-
it's
They
we're
did.
almost at the
He's
end
right.
of the semester.
He's right. He's right.
Wait. Are they in
I can't
college
keep
or are they in high school?
This is
Because-
this
College.
college.
This is
College.
college.
It
so
should
this
be
is
college.
But they're
No,
treating it
Jeremy,
like
this
high
is
school.
West Point or the Naval Academy or the Air Force
Yeah.
Academy.
Think West.
And the
Point.
reason why I'm saying they treat it like high school is because the high school I went to, you had the same class year round. So once you got to like midterms, that was the halfway point for the semester. You couldn't
Mhm.
get into a new class unless it was like a random elective that you had like 3.
But she
So
So
had
this is college.
So
is
then
why
she
she takes
should
music.
be, unless Christmas is around the corner and next year
Oh
is
God, are we gonna get a Christmas episode?
We will not get a
probably.
Christmas episode.
Okay.
Unless
Just
that's
like we
on
won't get a
Valentine's
Christmas.
Day.
We also will not get a Doctor Who Christmas episode, guys, ever again.
No, we got one
No, we
more
get one.
this year. We
We
got
get
one
one.
this year.
Yeah, there's
We got
one
this year.
confirmed.
They're not going to call it the Christmas episode.
Well, we're still gonna review it.
It's going to be.
That-
It's just
the-
going to be
the last
Billy
two-
and David. That's all.
Oh
The
God.
last few Christmas specials were really rough. You miss getting Snowman,
Hey,
Shooty's
hey,
first.
wait.
Stop it! Stop it!
But hey,
Hey,
Shooty
I
likes
wonder
it
what a
rough.
star tastes like.
Yeah, what's a
Hmm.
star taste like?
Tastes like that. Tastes
I
like-
still can't get over a fat bitch ate a star and became the star of Bethlehem.
yeah.
Listen, the world started playing.
We're cross pollinating our review panels now, guys.
and I
that's
started-
because it's all terrible.
it is all terrible. And the saddest part is, Joy to the World is better than this slop.
Ooh,
Whoa. We're talking about different levels of diarrhea here. Okay, come on now.
We are talking about different levels
Look.
of diarrhea. Joy to the World still seems like a more cohesive storyline than whatever the fuck
Okay.
I got here.
Yeah, colon cancer versus AIDS.
okay. Look, Adam and I are stuck on our Latinum bars from from Wormhole, and you have to put a bar down. You cannot leave the table without putting a bar down. So if it's shit, you still put one bar down. We somehow not put one bar down. I don't know how maybe we did it for Sanctuary. I don't remember.
To pay to take a shit.
Yeah.
I might have given a 1. You'll have to go back and look. You're the one with the records of it.
I know. I got to go back and check.
I think I've given a 1.
We gave 2s the other week.
Yeah.
Meridian. Wait, last week was bad too.
I keep going over the episode in my head for what we just watched. And
thing is, here's the thing.
Oh, I can't wait. We are waiting for I swallowed my combat to come back. We're waiting for that.
And I want to point.
And she'll save the day too.
I do feel I have no connection to Star Trek. Yeah. I felt disrespected a little bit though at the beginning with just how they treated.
All right, let's talk about that now. This whole the tone, the popping, the weird imaginary things going off around her constantly, and how and her now suddenly being the most popular girl in school.
That was all in her head.
Oh yeah, the secret handshakes, that was all in her head.
No,
Sam Semolino.
Listen, it makes more sense if it's all in her head because of what happened at the end when she has her whole little conversation in her head. When you realize that she did that all makes more sense. That it's going on.
Her little montage about how happy she's been in Starfleet Academy, half of that stuff is made up then. Because she flashes back to the secret handshake with Princess Mulvaney's brother.
Yes. I think we need to start calling him Beta Male Betazoid.
I call him Bro Boy.
Bro. Was that not Fish
Stick?
Stick?
Fort, bro.
No, that's not Fish Stick.
Okay, they look the same.
No, bro.
Jeremy, do you want to make a fort?
Bro.
That was a line at the end of one of the episodes. Do you want to make a fort?
End of episode 2. Do you want to build a fort?
That dude says.
Don't you just love seeing bros make bros beds?
Bros make bros beds. Dude, go watch the first 2 episodes. You fucking freak out.
Bro.
I want to add Dermot to a Latinum Lounge now. Just to see him freak out.
Look at him. Fuck. He doesn't know what to do with that.
What?
All right.
Is this how, Jed, is this how you feel when I bring up VTuber conversations?
No, I feel worse.
All right. Have we missed anything in this god awful?
I'm trying. Hold on. Let me go over my list.
I would say just like the disrespect to religion. I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that's the part
thing. And Brad, what the fuck were those Bajoran earrings they were wearing? What the fuck was that?
That was weird. They were all pierced, stuck through the ears.
Like
even
all
Jake
through
had
the whole.
Jake had
ear.
one, so I figured Jake married a Bajoran woman because he had.
But
one.
I mean, but you think about this though. Bajoran earrings persisted for centuries the same way, but suddenly, now they're just hoops through your whole ear.
Okay,
they're supposed to dictate your family, your this. Oh.
Yeah, it's all family related. Here's the thing that I caught. I don't know if you caught this. So the cadet grabs her ear. Okay, first off, that is a religious thing. That cadet is not a prior
Vedic.
Or Vedic.
Yeah,
certainly not a fucking Kai. I don't know where the Kai is right now. But then he goes, "Your paw is strong. You're reading a fucking hologram.
You just got an electric shock from touching her."
The paw is all about the soul. That is clearly laid out the first time that we see it in Emissary, where Apaka grabs Ben's ear and squeezes it tight. It's like, your paw is strong, Commander. This is how the Bajorans read souls. It is a religious thing. It is someone who's connected to the prophets. Do not tell me a cadet at Starfleet Academy is doing a very religious thing. That person would not be at the academy. That person would be studying at Bajoran temples. What the fuck?
And then he gets upset that she does it back to him.
Because
they actually complain to the
chancellor. She thinks it's a greeting.
But
and then wait, are you Bajoran? No cheese grater, as Hitman would say.
Yeah.
But my point that I would end up asking is just like how they treated the religion. Like, okay, shouldn't be at Starfleet or anything, but would it as your emissary and wanting to learn these people and stuff, wouldn't you want to be at least respectful? Say, hey, I want to know like what you guys think of this and everything. Instead, it's like,
no, she straight up calls it nonsense.
Yeah, nonsense. I want facts and logic, not your nonsense. I don't want your bullshit. I want to know like all this shit, and it's just so disrespectful to everything about that culture. That way,
but it's very Hollywood. It's very Hollywood.
To answer this real quickly, got to remember, without spoiling too much for Jeremy and Jed, her earring also had a different purpose in Picard season 3. It had a dual purpose. So if it looked different, because it had a reason for looking different. If you know what happened there, so
I remember.
Oh, anyway. That's right, Mr.
Jed finished Picard season 3. It's so good.
That's right.
He has to get there. He's doing the full.
I'm doing a full marathon. Yeah, I'm season 5.
He still has to get through Voyager.
All the show.
He has to get through Voyager before he gets there. So
I probably won't do Enterprise. That's the only thing that I'm.
You don't need Enterprise.
You don't need
for that.
I've already seen it, but
you absolutely have to DS9.
Oh my God! I'm gonna do them all.
I'm telling you, you have to DS9 for Picard.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, this isn't the first time I've done a full marathon of the franchise.
It's been a while though for you. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Mystery Goat brings up a good point though.
Which one?
Mystery Goat. And it's fine that she was disrespectful to the religion, and the captain just didn't give a shit. It's like, hey, they found you on a girl.
That's Captain Holly Hunter. She
doesn't care about discipline.
There's no consequences for anybody in this. No, none at all.
That's because Caleb's hacked into Starfleet multiple times.
Because again, she's used to teaching and caring for kindergartners.
Fighting over ice cream.
Yeah, here you can't. You're still showing ice cream. Don't lie to me. You just talk to ice cream. I just want Holly Hunter back in Raising Arizona.
Here's my question.
I don't like that movie. I never liked.
Would they discipline somebody though for saying a slur?
Depends on the slur.
Depends on the slur.
If they use cracker, that would be fine.
Well, no, they did call the fish guy fish stick, so I would be willing to say that's a slur.
They would not say that is 220. That is too modernism. Also, why? What? I don't understand why they call him a fish. That is not what a fish looks like.
I wouldn't have gotten that and why does it make? And why is he a fish species? And why can he survive in vacuum?
Well, he just happened to survive vacuum right when they needed it, and he vomits real glitter, not glitter-like substance. Apparently,
we haven't even mentioned the glitter. We didn't even mention. Oh, we haven't even mentioned.
So
we did mention the We did mention the tranny bartender. So that
I did mention the glitter earlier.
You did, but we haven't focused on it because you notice the glitter is true and colored.
I did it.
Colors.
Yes, it is. I did it. When I heard he vomited glitter, I thought it was a joke because there's always like vomiting rainbows or vomiting glitter.
That's an anime. That's an anime joke, though.
Well, not just. It's also like a meme joke that you can find some on like YouTube of a stick figure vomiting that because it's so stupid.
Yeah,
I thought it was a joke. I didn't expect to actually get a face full of goddamn glitter.
Yeah, Gregory the Pig. Yes, there are people defending the show. There are people defending. A lot of people defending.
People acted like this episode is great. Not just the best of the show.
I can show you. I have something saved. I'll show you.
Yeah, because that is not my algorithm, obviously. So I'm not getting.
It's mine, unfortunately.
Yeah, we should go through them since we won't get a chance tomorrow.
I got a couple. No, this is different one.
Yeah, I'm not getting any of that shit because my algorithm is just me raging.
Hang on. Here we go. Here's one. Here's one right here. And of course, only mentions can reply to this one here. Of course. Another brilliant episode. I'm getting hoarse again. Of Starfleet Academy. This series just keeps impressing me. What a beautiful tribute. Well done. That's
wait.
At Kirsten Bear, well done. Brad, didn't you look up Kirsten Bear? What else has she done?
Kirsten Bear. She's R&B mentioned this before too. Gary's mentioned this as well. She's actually done some decent Star Trek novels. And they said like she's just getting a paycheck because she's written some novels which are decent.
Really?
Apparently, because again, I dropped out.
Everybody
like you did,
can sell
Adam.
out. Everybody can sell out.
Yeah, you can sell out. You can
Everybody's got a number.
you can do what you need to do to stay in the industry. We know what Tawny Newsome is, but apparently, yeah, she's done some decent
Activist.
novels. Apparently, without throwing the activism in, and that's the problem because Star Trek has always been about like reflecting back on current society through alien society. Now, here's the weird thing, because literally in about 22 hours, Adam and I are going to be watching an episode, which is
it's predicting the future.
It is an accurate prediction of the future, which we did not imagine it back in 1993, 94, 95. An episode called Past Tense.
Two-parter. One directed by second episode directed by freaks too.
Goes back. Man. It's a time travel episode where Cisco and Bashir go back in time.
And Dax.
That's right. Dax does too. Goes back in time to 2024 San Francisco.
What do you think it's going to look like, guys?
Oh, God.
They got it spot
It is oddly very accurate.
It just misses. Well, this shit will be there. Anyway, so here's another one.
And
this is the particular idiot I've recently come across.
I didn't know
who's
Tommy
disabled,
Newsome.
so we have to be nice to her.
I didn't know Tommy Newsome was in Space Force.
Yes, yes, she was. That's what I knew her from. I didn't know she did Lower Decks, but yeah, she's not good in Space Force.
Talking about this week's episode, that was my favorite episode of Starfleet Academy so far, and another reason why people should wait until they actually see the show to complain about parts of the plot. It's not about the answer of the mystery. It's about the search for the answer. It didn't ruin the DS9 ending.
It doesn't.
It did actually, because you fucked up Dax, so you do kind of ruin.
That is so
you
true.
fuck up Dax. You fuck up Jake a little bit. I mean, it's. But point is, it's
the Jake fuck up is the second part where
but it
luckily
it's nasty. It's fake, but at least still leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Adam, I have a question.
And it's Cyril Lofton, so you're going, man, and he was actually quite. He did the obligatory thank you all for having me on and stuff like that, post like this. And I'm not going to complain about that. He's playing the game.
No. I think he's got his own podcast and everything. I think he was fine.
Yeah.
I think he appreciates what he did on Star Trek, and I think he's respectful.
Yeah.
He got hired to do a role.
Yeah.
Here's my question.
The worst is a couple lines like, "Hey sis," and that's not bad.
Mm-hmm. Modernism.
It's hey sis because it's in her head. Adam, have you ever gone to these people's accounts and just clicked where they're located?
Yes, I do occasionally. I do. And then these ones that I find that I'm going, they are actually here in the U.S., so they're crazy. They're just crazy. They're nuts.
I wonder if they're. I have to say this. Are they bots? Are they?
Well,
bots?
The ones that their accounts called like Trek Universe or Trek this, those are complete shills. They don't have any integrity at all. They want access.
Somebody could legitimately look at this episode and say it's the greatest ever.
They do though. Repeatedly. I've seen it for the past several days.
I need to meet a human. Like not
these aren't humans. That's why genocide's okay.
Yeah, exactly. But I need to meet a human that actually says that. And I need to sit down with him and go like, the fuck are you on about? I need to like examine them. Have the questions. Because I don't see any glory here. I see shit.
I don't know if you've seen it, Adam, but I've seen a lot of people call it sedimentary. Like this one I'm looking right now, loving this fresh, almost sedimentary style. Light, fun, and easy to watch.
That is not even a proper use of that word.
Very common.
The fuck is sedimentary?
Sediment is foundation, earth,
yes,
and stuff like that. And
I'm very sorry, guys.
It's fine. You're looking something up. It's fine. I see what you're doing. You found something.
I'm checking MegaCon.
Who's Kel keeps telling me who's going to be there. Then I know
Shatner.
Of course.
Yes.
Oh, I already have a picture of Shatner. I don't need that.
I might need to shell out some money for that.
Frakes, Gates, and Brent.
I knew those already. Yeah.
Okay. Koenig.
Tawny Newsome.
Koenig's gonna be there. Okay.
I'm just trying. Oh, Robert Davi. I like. Robert
Bob Davi's going to be there. Yeah.
I may get a photo with him.
Bob Davi's awesome. Dude is based as fuck.
John Rhys Davies. Shit.
Dude, I love John Rhys Davies.
He's still
my favorite John Rhys Davies role is in Noble House. That's how much I love.
Hold on, I'm just checking photo ops because I did this last year. I got Mel Gibson. Got a photo with Mel Gibson and got a photo with Matt Smith.
Nice.
Photo op with Jonathan Frakes Saturday and Sunday. Oh, Gates, Frakes, and Spiner 250 Saturday, Sunday.
You can get Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah.
Fuck that commie.
I'm not doing that. I may get that.
Oh shit! I just looked it up.
What?
The fat kid from Stranger Things is gonna.
I saw that. Yeah, that one came in on an email today. The fat kid from Stranger Things.
All right,
but
all right, back on the rails. Back on the rails.
I'm sorry, guys. I got distracted.
I saw people defending as well Holly Hunter, not sitting in a captain's chair like a human being, always having her feet up or whatever it is, saying it's okay because sometimes Riker would put his leg up on the consoles and chairs.
No, and also I saw people going, I found my captain. No.
Again, I have to keep saying it. I say it every time. There's nothing commanding about this character.
He's tiny.
And I ask, first of all, I want to point out, this is not a sexist thing, okay? Because I bought Janeway as a captain. I disagreed with a lot of her decisions, but I never thought she was not. Yeah, she had presence, which is why they got rid of Genevieve Bujold, because she did not have presence. She was meek and she couldn't keep up with like doing, daily work. Kate Mulgrew worked soap operas for many years. She understood the grind of doing a weekly show, and she was commanding that show. I disagree with a lot of the story choices, but I never thought she was not a commanding officer.
Brad, that is the key to when you're building a command crew for a Star Trek show. Your anchor must have gravitas. Shatner had gravitas. Patrick Stewart had gravitas to spare.
Ben did not at beginning.
Once Avery Brooks was actually brought into the fold by Ira C. from Barron season 3 and allowed to actually have input, then he had presence. Kate Mulgrew, Janeway had presence.
Archer had presence.
It was a naive presence, but it was presence.
It was a little meek, but he's like, look, no, I'm doing it this way.
I think he was the weakest of the good Star Trek shows, but still absolutely more present than any of the modern ones.
But that's the thing. You start with your anchor, and when you have your anchor, you can build a good ensemble group. There is no who's the anchor here? Who's the anchor here?
I was about to say the same thing. Who is the anchor here? Because really,
is it supposed to be Caleb?
No, I think it should be Jed. Here's the problem. The captain should be a secondary character. If you're really dealing with a Starfleet Academy show, the main characters should all be the students.
Yes.
So the main character right now should be Caleb. All we know is he misses Mama She-Hulk and that he's great at everything. There's no development of this character. And then we got Genesis, who I'm just going to call stripper girl because Genesis Live is a stripper girl. That's a stripper girl name. You got your manatee.
I need to be captain.
But that was just being captain of the paintball team.
Laser tag.
Palica.
We go. And then you got Fish Boy who just wants to fuck everything. You got Sam who is trying to figure out what she is. If only she had a mentor who's maybe holographic she could go to. And you got Gaiden, who literally got abandoned by his two dads who went out for space cigarettes.
But that was because
that's
because he beat them as a warrior of words.
And again, look, I really think R&B had it right. I hate referring to him again, but he does understand Star Trek better than most people on the internet. You can have not all Klingons are warriors. Okay, but you still have honor. The core of the Klingon identity is honor. All we ever see is the warriors, but we know you can't have a society just built on warriors. There are people that do the things that make the society work. You have doctors, you have scientists, you have plumbers, you have builders, but they're all concept of honor. This guy's a fucking pacifist. Oh, I don't want to.
And as we've said repeatedly, talk about this. We already did that with Alexander. We've done that. Been there, done that.
Everything in the show's been done before and done so much better.
Yeah.
I think every single thing. Because, yeah, there's plenty of Worfisms in his art, plenty of Alexander in his art. There's Data in Sam. There's Isaac in Sam. Everything is just a cheap ripoff of something.
But I said that in every Star Trek, there's always the character that reflects back on humanity. It's the alien character, because that's how you see the show. You had Spock, you had Data. In DS9, you had Odo. In Voyager, you first had the EMH, and you had Seven. There really wasn't one in Enterprise. I mean, quasi T'Pol, maybe quasi Phlox.
Though. There was no place for it, though. That's the thing in Enterprise.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, I'd say T'Pol would be the closest one. Because that's still early days for Vulcans and humans.
All right, so
Vulcans and humans and alike.
I think we've beat this one to death, just like she punched out that.
We're desperate to talk about real Trek.
I mean,
we're desperate to talk about real anything.
Anything. All right.
Because there's nothing really to latch on to here.
Yeah.
There's no content. It's nonsense. And I meant to bring this up last night. And this is gonna feel like a weird segue, but it gets to an all around point.
All right. I'll give you enough rope to hang yourself.
Okay, just follow me here. So we're seeing boomers come up to their life expectancy. We're starting to see boomers like end outs, and you're seeing the ramifications of this. You know, the Washington Post had a bunch of layoffs recently. Yep. We're seeing the ramifications of this generation dying off. We bring it. This generation, the boomer generation, is what propped up a lot of these big brands, these major IPs, such as Star Wars, Star Trek, so on and so forth.
They created it.
Exactly. With them dying off and reaching this life expectancy, similar to like Washington Post or any of these other areas, these shows don't have anything left. They don't. They burnt their audiences. The next generations aren't really fans of these things. Nobody's here anymore.
I got to interrupt you. There it is, though. Mm-hmm. They burnt their fans who would have carried it on to another generation. If they hadn't burnt their fans, it would have been passed on properly to another generation.
Hi. Because I'm the generation after. I'm Gen X. That's what Terry Metalis was. That's what we saw with Picard season 3. That's what we saw with what was happening with TNG and the time beyond. Because Rick Berman, Michael Piller, they were a little bit older than me. They were, older, the end of the boomers. And then all of us who were watching Star Trek at the time live, we're all Gen Xers. So Terry Metalis, when he comes in, Terry Metalis is a couple of years younger than me. And he's a Gen Xer. And he's coming in and he's like, hey, this is what I grew up on. This is what I watch.
And what he worked on
is
literally worked on.
He worked on DS9, Voyager, Enterprise. And it's like, I know this stuff because I grew up on it and I loved it. The problem is they phased us out. They don't want to hear my generation.
They phase out the Xers. The millennials, you might have millennials like whoever the fuck working on the show. They don't know it. You have a handful of millennials that actually know it. Z does not know it at all. They have no connection to it. They have no.
The show is for a fake version of Z in their heads.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Z has zero connection to what Star Trek is. Alpha, same thing. Your audience is already gone. And
but here's
it's going to continue to die off. And
that's why it's a dead franchise.
Now, all right. Now, I did a monologue yesterday on Daily Dive. My monologue for the day was these things are in their worst states ever. Star Wars, Doctor Who, Star Trek.
Yep.
All of them. We've done this. And what I'm seeing now is, and this is something that I disagree with a lot of larger channels, larger voices. I don't like when people say this is dead, that is dead. And you're almost saying that. What you're describing isn't wrong, Derby. What you're describing is the apathy. It's what people don't care anymore because they've been burned. Like I said, they pushed out those of us who gave a damn. They pushed out the people that knew how to make it. What I'm seeing from this right now, and what I'm seeing in the chat today, is when we're talking about this, we get so angry, righteously, purposefully angry, and you say, this shit is terrible. And you could say Kurtzman Trek is dead. Disney Star Wars is dead. But look how excited we get every time we go off on a tangent on the real thing. Look how excited the chat gets every time we go off a tangent on the real thing. And I'm sure we have a wide array of ages in the chat here. It's probably ranging a good little section of different ages here. What is important now, what I'm seeing during this whole Academy fiasco going on here, people are interested in talking about real Trek, all this kind of stuff. I think it is incumbent upon us, whether we have children or not. I mean, I do not have kids at the moment. I hope I still have a chance. I hope I still have a chance to make that happen. But even so, it is our duty as the gatekeepers, the keepers of the flame. There are people out there who I know, if they see this stuff, if it is given to them correctly, they will like it. It is not out of this world to reintroduce something that has gone stale or been abused in a wrong fashion to new people, new fans. All it takes is a spark of interest. Look what happened, and all four of us can remember. Look what happened when Tennant Doctor Who caught fire and spread around the world.
Because it was essentially dead in the wilderness years. But it's kind of like Star Wars. There was peripheral material.
Yeah. But you understand what I'm saying. All it takes is a single spark, and then have that spark flamed and nurtured. And you can watch a resurgence. Now, of course, it requires the property to then be in the hands of a good caretaker. Currently, all the things we love are not in the hands of good caretakers. That is why.
Well, we don't know about Paramount now.
Well, we have to see what they're going to do.
Iffy.
I mean, the thing is this, though. The smart thing to do now is once Kurtzman Trek runs its course in the next year, because it's done. I think Kurtzman Trek is done. I think it's over. If he doesn't get a contract renewal, it is done. And anybody that's one of his acolytes are done. His disciples are done. And it's not like JJ's going to come in because JJ he's still in the doghouse. Now, we've said Paramount is planning something. There are articles out there. But here's the thing. Put it on the shelf. Put it on the shelf for the rest of the decade. At least
restraint, like I was saying on Roundtable. Do some restraint. Put it on the shelf. Let it breathe.
And then you get somebody like Terry Metalis who knows it, understands it. Because one of the things that I always hear from the chat, listen here and there, all the conversations I have with people is there's no good writers there. There are. They've been pushed out.
They've been sidelined.
Gate kept. Then now then, let them in. We have an example. Terry Metalis knows it. And then what you do is what you have to do for all the shit we've suffered, whether it's Disney Star Wars, New Trek, New Who, a New Who up to a point. We're talking post Peter Capaldi, although some would argue Peter Capaldi, but that's a different discussion for later. You wipe it out because anybody with a brain in their head understands that the drooling, window-licking mongoloids on X Twitter, they amount to this much of turning the needle, pushing the dial. They don't have the juice. They don't count. They have no power. And they'll scream and cry, but there's only 10 of them. The real fans.
And a bunch of bots.
Yeah, bunch of bots. If you wipe them out, if you wipe it out, they'll cry. But then guess who's going to be listening? Because that's a goodwill gesture. Oh, you just erased all of Disney Star Wars. Oh, you just retconned the Timeless Children. Oh, you just eliminated all of Kurtzman Trek up to the end of Voyager.
The easiest one, and you said it, and you said it correctly. The easiest one is the Timeless Child.
Yeah.
I mean, just
Dr.
the Master Lies.
Dr. Lies.
The Master Lies. Yeah. It's so easy.
Yeah.
But the whole reason that we are watching Star Trek Deep Space Nine every Sunday is because that's what I'm doing. It's small. My channel's small. Getting close to 500 somehow. But well, I know how. But we look at what we talk about now at the beginning of our show, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Hitman's like TNG, and it's like, oh my God, Kirk is amazing. We got him watching TOS.
Well, there's a word to describe all of this: timeless.
Mm-hmm.
Great works are timeless. Great classic Star Trek is timeless. Star Wars, when
goodness,
by
hold
the
on.
people,
I'm sorry.
timeless.
I got really distracted. I got a Wicked Virtue on in the corner here, and that's this really hot picture of Deanna Troy back in the day.
What I'm
wow,
it's timeless. But I'll let Jeremy respond to everything I've said now. Point is, these things are timeless, and they can be reintroduced and find purchase again. But it has to be done right, and the shit that has been poisoned must be wiped away. But then it's not going to happen overnight. But this is why it's our job to collect, protect, and preserve all these things. Mm-hmm. We must keep it safe for people who are ready to learn about it. And then we hope. There's nothing wrong with real hope. Not the hope that Dre teased me about, but real hope. All right, go ahead.
Long-term hope.
And, well, what I was going to say to your point of like, there's timeless stories and stuff. Like, I don't bring this up because of all the chaos around it, but like the actual Odyssey story, that's still timeless. People still talk about real Odyssey. My favorite story of all time is always going to be Beowulf, the hero's journey.
Oh, Beowulf is awesome. I love Beowulf.
Oh, I love Beowulf. I have
the first epic poem. It is the first.
I have like a very old version of it, always back here because I read it periodically. Like I love these stories. Like you do have these classic tales that we have set at for various reasons. You are right. People have been inspired by our quest for the stars and stuff. I just personally, I fear that right now our stewards won't show it to the next generations, and people won't show this to the next generations, and it will die off.
Well, that's a legitimate fear. You are legitimate in feeling that way.
Granted, though, what I will counter that with is even if these IPs die off, new IPs will eventually take over their place and actually grip the hearts and minds of people. So,
I mean, all right. So you say that, and the thing about the problem with the other franchises, and this is the first conversation Jen and I ever had together, way back years ago. Mm-hmm. If you look at all these franchises, there are points where things diverge, and you just have to have the courage to cut it off and say nothing from this point happened, and I'm going to start earning your goodwill back. It's not an easy process. That is the point of this whole conversation right now. None of this would be easy, but it's a very easy point to say, yeah, you know what? Disney Star Wars, cancel. Because you know what? They retconned real Star Wars, the EU, they retconned it. They said it doesn't count, so why can't we say theirs doesn't count? Because just because Disney bought it doesn't mean it's legitimate. With
That's
Star
fair.
Trek, you just go back and say the last legitimate part of the timeline in the present was Nemesis, the events of Nemesis. Now,
2005.
We would lose Picard season 3, but I'm willing to sacrifice that. I'm willing to sacrifice it. In a second. I enjoyed it. It was fun, but I will sacrifice it because they didn't make legacy.
But they also had to try to wrap up all the shit. And I did not like the way the Borg were treated. I'm sorry, Jed. I'm trying not to spoil shit.
It's been out for what, 4 years?
Jed doesn't care about spoilers the way we do. He's okay.
Oh, do you know who Jack Crusher is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's Beverly's wife or husband, wasn't it?
No.
Jack
Crusher 2.
Oh, I don't know about 2.
Okay.
Wait, I thought Jack Crusher was the doctor in TNG.
No, that
Beverly
was
Beverly Crusher.
God damn it.
Beverly Crusher was married to Jack Crusher. Jack Crusher was Picard's best friend, and he died on the Stargazer because Picard made a decision which resulted in his death, which is what Wesley grappled with in Coming of Age.
Right.
There is another child that Beverly had.
Oh, are you talking about what happened was revealed in season 3?
Yep.
Okay.
It's good stuff, but I'm willing to give it up if it would bring back better Star Trek. But here's the thing.
At least I knew the Jack Crusher 1. I'm glad I at least knew.
Jack Crusher 2 should not be named Jack Crusher.
No, and that's why when I'm talking non-spoiler stuff, or talking spoiler stuff, I use his
Jean Jr.
Listen, great actor, great character. And
I hated him at first, but he turned out to be great.
Oh my God, great writing, and a great actor.
I fucking cried in episode 9.
Point is, Terry Matalas knows how to write.
Yes,
and Kurtzman was so butthurt that everybody loved Picard season 3 on a shoestring budget that he essentially quickly fired Terry Matalas, who now will give us Vision Quest in the MCU.
That'll be interesting. I know. Pratt is going to appear as well.
Point is, it's just the example. There still is a way to do it, and there are people out there, but you'd have to give something even good like that up. But if we had done Legacy, that final scene, I still get chills. The final shot, the final minute 20, I still get chills because I realized, damn, it would have been so good. But we're not going to get that. We're not getting that.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted. I'm watching.
It's fine. We're wrapping up anyway here. We're at the 2-hour mark.
I'm slowly trying to work a MegaCon meetup. So
we are to the point that I'm to wrap this conversation. I encourage everybody to not blackpill. I encourage everybody to go back, watch, and enjoy the things. Talk to your friends. Join us when we do streams about this stuff, all kinds of conversations. Have fun again. Remember how to have fun. Yeah, we don't realize how good we had with Brandon Braga.
Oh, my God. How many times have you said that, Adam?
We say it all the time. I used to have a friend. We used to bitch about Braga all the fucking time.
I hated Brandon Braga. Now, I also hated they had sex with Cherry Ryan.
I know that. Well, that's just from our masculine point of view.
That's just jealousy.
Yeah, it's just pure jealousy. Point is, we didn't realize how good we had it. At least Braga may have been a dick, but at least he was a hands-off dick. he let the truth where the creatives were rocking. He just stood back and said, "Okay, just go. I'm gonna go fuck Jerry Ryan." But
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. And listen.
I'm still fine with that. She looks great.
Oh, she's still holding up high and tight, baby.
Hey, she's my age. I'm fine.
Point is, I encourage everybody to remember how to have fun. Still be righteously angry. Still point the shit out. That's what we still do around here. We will review and point out horrible shit, but then we take a break and we have fun. Tomorrow night, Brad and I will record another episode of Wormhole Watch. It'll be up on his channel.
Awesome show.
Night.
Awesome episode.
Up on his channel every Wednesday night. Jeremy and I, once a month, we take a break. We talk anime for a couple hours. Jed and I, every week, we talk about a movie. And I play games with you guys. I try to do other stuff. I'm trying to make sure that there's a balance to the necessary criticism and analysis that we do on all this shit. And I encourage you guys to have fun with it too. That's what I'm saying here. And I'm glad everybody's shown up, all the new subscribers. Hope you guys are having a good time. And I hope to keep entertaining you. We all want to entertain you, not just shitting on the horrible stuff, but celebrating the good stuff. With that, we're going to wrap it up. We'll be back next week for episode 6. Brad, what you got going on?
I may finally finish the Latinum Lounge episode tonight where we talked about episode 1 and episode 2 of Starfleet Academy. It is literally 50 minutes of us bitching. I'm just trying to pepper it with fun stuff because
clips.
It's tough. But otherwise, tomorrow night, Adam and I still don't know if we have a guest or not. But Adam, Fraction Filter, and Jay Hitman will be watching an amazing episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. 2-part episode. Past tense. Holy crap, so relevant. So prescient. This is some good DS9 stuff.
And you don't appreciate it unless you're an adult. When you're a kid, it's not so fun. When you're an adult, you realize how good it is.
I got so much more appreciation when I got older.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw it when I was like 20, too.
Yeah.
But
I was a teenager. I didn't really appreciate
yeah.
it. Now I do.
Otherwise, on my channel, you can watch me do my. I'm basically a Star Trek channel now. What the fuck?
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing
No problem with that. You can also see me on Static 220's channel on Thursday nights. I talk WWE wrestling on the Joker Voices channel and show up here every Saturday because I am a masochist.
Aren't we all?
I feel that.
All right, Jed.
Well, everyone can find me Endless Frontiers on YouTube later on tonight. The recorded edition of Saturday Night Drive-In, where Adam and I talk about RoboCop, will be out. I hadn't seen it before this week, so I think we got a good discussion for you guys. That'll be out probably in an hour, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I just have to send it to you. It's done.
Hopefully. And then tomorrow, I'm thinking about streaming some gaming just at some point. I don't care about the Super Bowl, and I know that there are other people like me who don't care. So just providing a little entertainment for the few people who aren't going to be watching that. And of course, there's people around the world as well. So I'll be playing some Star Wars Genesis at some point, most likely. That is the modded version of Starfield that makes it into a Star Wars game. Had a lot of fun with that on Friday, checking it out. It's actually great.
Modders did better than Ubisoft.
Oh, easily. It better than Ubisoft and Bethesda. Because they made a real game. I haven't got to any lightsaber combat yet. That'll really make a difference for me, but the blaster combat, the ship, they've done a phenomenal job. So check that out tomorrow if you're interested. Then Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern, I will be back with the Right or Flight podcast, where I go over the news of science and fiction with a chat choose your own adventure segment at the end. We're using a combination of chat inputs and dice rolls. We craft crazy short stories. Yeah. I'm still writing out the one from last week with oil riggers and zombies. It was weird. It was weird, but it was a lot of fun. Don't ask. Later on that night, 7:30 p.m., Adam and I will be back for some Jump Space co-op gaming in classic split screen fashion. So tune into that. And then, of course, Starfleet Academy on Thursday. A review will be dropped.
Yeah. Dermot.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Wormy of Jeremy Wormy. I'll be going live here at 8:15 to talk some other stuff that's not Starfleet and play some Persona. Right now, we got Imiru's racist, apparently.
I actually know about that. I came across my timeline.
Yeah, so we'll be talking about that. And I have a deranged VTuber that our good buddy Static has been begging me to react to. So I will be reacting to that. And hopefully some Persona 5, depending on how intoxicated I am. But yeah, that's what I'm planning. And then tomorrow, I'm watching the Super Bowl. Fuck, I'm not. I take my Sundays off. I'll ignore the halftime show. I'll probably go watch the other
Everybody
shit.
should enjoy it. Should ignore that halftime show.
I'm not going to understand it. That's the biggest thing. Nobody's going to understand it. So.
As for me, if you're here on my channel, you know what I'm about. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Normally, tomorrow we would have Roundtable at 3 p.m. Eastern, but it's Super Bowl Sunday, so I canceled it. We'll be back next week with that. As with Jed at 9 p.m. on my channel, you can catch the recorded version of Saturday Night Drive-In, where we discuss RoboCop 1987, the real RoboCop. And then, awesome. Of course, Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern, you catch the Daily Dive of Double D's, where I go over the news, talk to you guys, we talk about things, and also you guys probably make me read or eventually, again, watch things I don't want to watch. Because that's the fun of the game for you guys. My misery is your entertainment. Anyway, and of course, gaming, you go vote on 2 polls on my post tab. 1, the next solo game we're going to play until we can get to Crimson Desert next month. Currently, Final Fantasy X Remastered is winning. And then, of course, you can vote on this month's Nerdgasm. What will we talk about the final week of the month? And right now, Farscape is winning. Either way, thank you, everybody, for joining us today, whether you're over here or on Jed's channel. We appreciate your support, your activity. You guys are having a lot of fun in the chat. We love it. Hit those like buttons. Links to everybody's channels are in the description below. And we'll catch you guys next week. Until then, take it easy.